Today on Business Under Fire, we're with Coach Michael Burt in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. And this is the about fifth podcast that I've done at another podcast studio. And it's interesting.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about it earlier, I'm trying to put stuff into your terms. It's like going to a opponent's basketball gym that's pretty nice inside and going, I'm going to come here and win.
I love it. Yeah, we did dropping bombs here with Brad Lee, and he's like, I like it, but it's different. It's not my studio, you know.
Yeah.
But a funny story on going to another person's gym. I lost a game one night because people always ask me how hardcore was I. I lost a game one night at an opponent's gym, and I went into their practice gym and practiced.
Wow.
For almost 2.5 hours.
I think you told that story. Yeah. And why did you do that?
I was so extreme. I was young. I really wanted to set a precedent and win. And I wanted to let the players know that we're going to hate losing as much as we like winning.
What effect do you think that had on the players?
I think there was a healthy amount of standards. I think a lot of people, I don't like to motivate through fear, although I do think fear is an activator of prey drive, okay? And that was a time when I was trying to build something and set a new standard. And the standard was losing is not okay here. We're winners. And so we hate losing. Almost like a Saban, you look at when Saban lost to Louisiana Lafayette, it was like, you would have thought the end of the world was happening.
Yeah.
That's how embarrassed Saban was.
With your mentality on coaching and, losing is not an option, how much pushback did you get from parents of your players?
A lot. My first 3 years, it was terrible. There was not a week that went by when I came in and increased the intensity so much, okay? I mean, I increased the intensity like, it didn't go like this. It wasn't incremental. It was like new coach, boom.
Yeah.
Right? And there wasn't a week that went by that my principal didn't come down to me and say, you're not going to believe what we got to deal with this week. It was they accused me of stealing money from the booster club. It was I worked the players too hard. And, it was like I could tell you crazy stories of like just craziness. But you got to think I was a kid. I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
So when you don't have a demonstrated capacity and you haven't really won, and you're pushing people at this level, it's like, man, is this guy crazy or is he a genius?
Well, and I asked a very successful volleyball coach the same question, and I think it's very important for people to hear it out of a coach's mouth. Of all the parents that went and talked to you and complained and said anything to you, how many of them made you change your decision?
Not many.
Not one.
Not one. Now, I will say this. Typically, when somebody came at me hard, when I really look back on it and reflect on it, there was a grain of truth. Right now, my daughter is an athlete. I'm the one taking her and picking her up at 8 o'clock at night. And one bad habit that I had, Tommy, was I would say practice is going to be from 6 to 8, and then it would go to 9. And my stance was, we're going to stay until we get this right. Well, imagine being a parent and you're out there for an hour at 9 o'clock at night, and they hated it.
Well, they've been working.
They've been working, and they was like, why can't you just tell us? And I would be like, well, just take what I say and add an hour to it.
I'm like, we got
this big, nice locker room, and they could stay in there and they could study. And I'm not going to leave the kids here, right, after practice is over. So, but now that I have a daughter that competes, and literally, like, I may get home tonight, and my wife go, hey, you got to go get Ella, and it's at 8:30 at the gym across town. It's 30 minutes away. Yeah. So I now I understand. A lot of parents. I never go to the coach. I go to her coach, and I say one thing. We got two roles here. You're the coach, and I'm the parent.
Well, and that is exactly what I heard from the volleyball coach. Yeah. And it frustrates me to see parents even digging in and trying.
Yeah.
Let the coach coach. Yeah. Let the kid play. Stay out of it unless it is a maybe a safety situation.
Yeah,
Because ultimately the coach is just doing the best that they can.
that's right. And there's bad coaches and good coaches.
Yeah. Well, what I love about the way that you train and coach is that you simplify things so that anybody can understand them. Anybody from anywhere. And you're arguably one of the best coaches in the world.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel even hearing that?
I'm humbled. There's a lot of great coaches. I was lucky enough to have the pedigree that I had. What separates coaches? When people ask me, like, what's different from you than all these other people? I've actually won championships. I've built programs. I've taken people from all walks of life. Like I've done it, right? I built winners. So what separates people is their past and their pedigree. And you'll hear me say this. It's like, well, that person doesn't really have the pedigree that this person does. And what I'm saying there is who they've studied under, what they've actually accomplished, what they have a demonstrated capacity in. And out of all the people, there's a lot of people in today's world who don't want to coach. It's a hard business.
Yeah.
They want to enroll people, but they don't really want to coach people. So everybody's trying to figure out how to get out of coaching people. They want to watch it on the online academy, just come to events. But at my core, that's kind of how God hardwired me. I'm a coach. I mean, and a businessman, but I'm a coach.
Coach first, businessman second.
Probably.
What are some of the hardest lessons you've learned in business and the business of coaching?
Well, nobody set me down 17 years ago and said, this is going to be a hard business model. Could be hard to scale. Could be hard to replicate. Most of it's built around the intellectual property of the main person. They call the key man, like me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take Tony Robbins out of Tony Robbins' company, what is that company? Now he's diversified. Now he's involved in hundreds of companies. What happened to Zig Ziglar's company when he passed away? Although his son is a great dude and very skilled, but it's like it's hard to compete versus Zig Ziglar. So nobody sat down and said to me 17 years ago, let's think about this vehicle. And nor would it have mattered because I just go, this is better than this. Over time, I've figured out there's better business models. Right? There's better business models than running a coaching business.
But how did you figure out? That's one of the things I want to get to. Another thing that I like about you is the remarkable boldness. Mm-hmm. And you have the ability to go ask the right person. Mm-hmm. How do you do this? How do you do that? Yep. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about you is you practice what you preach. Yeah. It's not just mouth work up there.
Yeah.
And a lot of coaches today, I can't put a number on it, but they're filled on my Instagram feed. And I don't feel like they have the resume to back it up. Yep. And so many of these lessons that you teach, you practice.
Yeah.
And so what put that prey drive into you? What separates you from others on doing that? How did that come about? You talked about your mom.
Yeah, I think it was there's something called environmental scripting, and environmental scripting is what I grew up in. I don't remember a lot of it. I remember, we lived in little houses. I remember my mom working multiple jobs. I remember growing up on a ball field. I remember, and that was kind of environmentally scripting me to be gritty.
And you always had to seek out and go ask because mom might not know it.
Yeah, and there was a curiosity in me.
Yes.
And so I actually believe that people reward curiosity when you're humble, when you're hungry, when you're teachable. So for many years, I just studied confidence, and I wrote books on confidence. And then I kind of started going, well, but this person's got more than confidence. What do they have? They have remarkable boldness, which is a habit of the top 1%. And remarkable boldness is really striking fearlessness. Now, it doesn't mean I'm still not afraid to do certain things. It doesn't mean, I don't fight the same kind of feelings other people have. Like, do I deserve to be in this room or do this? But at the end of the day, the more I'm around big time people, they're just people.
I really like that what you just said about big time people are just people.
Yeah.
And with the amount of big time people, whatever that might be, because a single lady that owns a coffee shop, a successful coffee shop, is my definition of a successful person.
Yeah.
And it depends on what big table you want to be at. But what are you seeing between those high achievers? I'm not seeing
Yeah.
that they're a lot more intelligent than the average person. A little bit,
Yeah.
maybe. But they have a fire in them. They don't quit.
Yeah.
They don't take no.
Well, they have an intrinsic motivation. Okay. And a lot of people that spend time with billionaires, I haven't spent a lot of time with billionaires, but a few, they would all tell you that they're not substantially smarter than other people.
Mm-hmm.
They just chose something and they went all in. Okay? That is remarkable boldness. So we look at the habits of the top 1%. And then there's like the top 0.0001% of the top 1%. Remarkable boldness, intrinsic motivation. Most of them have great connection skills in their own way. Ability to lock in. And then they have a grit and resilience about them. They're tough. You can't shake them. They get knocked down, they get back up. Even what we saw in Pritchett last night. He's gritty. He's tough. He goes for it, you know, and he's not afraid to take some bumps.
But what a treat to have Pritchett here.
Yeah.
What a treat. And that's, you know, you were talking about advocates for Michael Burt, the Greatness Factory.
Yep.
Where on this planet can you go and sit 10, 20 feet from Pritchett and dig into his mind?
I know. It's crazy because that's the vision of the Greatness Factory. It's like, okay, if you want to be great, you know, get around great people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's a video out there with Scott Galloway who they're saying if you're a young man, you know, what can young men do to get better? And it's like, go get in rooms with better men. Go get in places you don't think you belong. Go study under people you think are way smarter than you. It's like, get to the table.
Yeah.
Right? To get a seat at the table, you got to get to the table. You got to get to the right place and you got to get around the right people. And that is a lot. You got to think a lot of my learning, Tommy, is observational. I watch Pritchett, how calm he is. I watch it how he measures his thoughts. I watch it how he writes. I watch it how smooth he is. I watch the fact that he's in the game in his 80s, showing up, man, and doing things. So a lot of it's not just reading about people. It's actually observing big time people.
And what a privilege for him to walk through that door and have the ovation that he did.
Yeah.
And they were here to see him.
Yeah.
And he gave it to us.
Yes. Yeah.
But again, that's something that I want people to know about the Greatness Factory, that you can't put a dollar amount on that.
No.
What, you know, you opened the Greatness Factory about 2.5 years ago, maybe a little bit less.
Yep.
What are a couple of the things that have happened with the Greatness Factory that you were not planning on at all? Some of the good results that you've seen.
The amount of deal flow, the ideas that have converted to money, the businesses that have been started. You got to think the data center business was started here. Pitch Equity, the private equity fund, a lot of the money that was raised for Safe Space, the publicly traded company, happened here.
And you had
no,
you didn't even think of that.
I mean, I thought it would be a deal flow center. I thought it would be good people coming together. I didn't know the ancillary benefit. Like, I'm working on a deal right now that literally could be, you know, all said and done in 3 years, $25 million deal. What precipitated that was that dude came to the Greatness Factory. He just sold a company. He made a bunch of money. He came here and he goes, now that is interesting. And he fell in love with the concept. And he said, what would you take for the concept? What would you sell me the concept of the Greatness Factory for? And I gave him a number. And he said, well, what else what if I worked with you? And what if we called it this? And what if we associated with this? But it really all started by him coming here.
Isn't that
And I don't think if he didn't come here, we probably wouldn't have had the conversation. And maybe it piqued his curiosity. It's like, who is this dude that built this place? Like, it's interesting.
Well, as a student of yours and an outsider that comes to Nashville, I really do feel it's a special place.
Yeah, thank you.
And I was there when you were talking about it. You were still under construction. Your hair was falling out from the construction.
Yes, it was.
And I saw a lot of stress in you in this. Just, you know, whatever stress there was, financial, emotional. Building stuff is it's emotionally taxing. And I remember the first event that you had, you didn't have the place together. And so, you know, congratulations on this place. And I think that's one of the things that really turned me on to you is you talking about stuff and doing it.
And then manifesting it.
And doing it.
Yep.
Let me scroll through this.
Well, speaking, while you're looking at that, it's like, that is how you create things. If you believe in speaking things into existence, if you're a faith-based person, God spoke and things happened. And I think we have the ability as creators or co-creators, we were given that gift of creation. We can create things. So that's really what if you watch me, that's what I do. I don't have one greatness factory. I got 50 greatness factories.
Yeah.
In my mind. I've already gone there. And you go there in the mind before you go there in the body.
Well, I'll march towards a target. I said that I was going to do 5 coffee shops before I did one. Yep. And lo and behold, we're at 5.
There you go.
And so I'll march towards goals, and I might not know the end goal, but I know the next step to get there. And that's one of the benefits of listening to your daily message, following you, just keeping Coach Burt in the back of my mind. We're working on a couple other real estate projects. And today I said, well, what's the next step? Make this call, set up the appointment. Right. So we just made the next step. And I got an entire Mexican restaurant done during COVID by taking the next step. When everything said no, I would show up at every meeting. And you're talking about goal setting. And do you remember what Pritchett said yesterday about writing down a goal? Yeah. 43% more likely to
that happens.
Accomplish that goal. Yeah. Simple task. Yeah. Write it down.
It programs it in the subconscious mind.
Simple
when you write things down, it programs it in the subconscious mind. It activates the supercomputer. And I wrote about this in chapter 2 of Flip the Switch. It's like, okay, what's the power of writing things down and drawing things up and mentally mapping things and doing A to B every day? I do A to B every day. Like I may do it when I'm in a meeting, A to B. I'm at A, here's B. B gets bigger. I have a meeting, I learn something new, B gets bigger. I talk to a really smart person, B gets bigger. So it's like that's the power of doing it because it really becomes like a supercomputer that goes looking for who can help me do this.
Yeah. Where do you think you would have been if you didn't win a championship?
Depressed. To work that hard for that long, the team that I coached got to a state championship game in 1979. They were 31-0. They won 31 straight games and got beat in the championship game. Do you know how heartbreaking that would be? But it was when it was happening, it was like happening and unfolding and there was all kinds of crazy things going on during that period. It was just like a rush of energy, and for about 3 weeks or a month, it's like I don't even remember everything. I just remember winning, and it's like it was really a flow state. And then I woke up and I'm standing in the middle of a court, and there's X number of thousands of people there, and we're the best. And there's nothing like being the best. At the end of the day, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's not like in business where there's the top 500 businesses or top, Fortune 500 companies, and maybe there's a number one based on this or that. But in sports, at the end of the year, there's one national championship. There's one state champ. There's one this, and that's a special thing, man.
Well, that was my next question. Yeah. How much does that championship ring mean to you?
This is a bigger one than I originally had.
That's okay.
And it's so funny because I typically only wear this when I'm making public appearances or because it's gaudy, and you'll see me take it off when I eat and sit it down. People are so afraid I'm going to lose it. But the truth is, it's a symbolic of 13 years, 80-hour work weeks. Started, guys, watching this at $199.50. That's what I made for 2 years. Then I made $2,000 for 2 years as an assistant, right? And then I just kept going at it. I never thought about the money, never worried about the money. So it is symbolic of, hey, I know how to win. There's certain things that you need to anchor to. When you're low on confidence, you need to remind yourself, I know how to win. When things are not going well. And Dan Martell sat there and interviewed me, or I interviewed him. And it was during building this greatness factory. And listen, financially taxing.
Yeah.
Put $1 million of your own dollars.
Yeah.
Make $1 million and then take $1 million and put it into a building. And and it take longer, and you have investors to pay, and there's no revenue coming in. And so it was a really taxing period on me. And Dan Martell said to me, go back to a time in your life when your back was against the wall and tell me when you didn't figure out a way to win.
Yeah.
And I go, man, I can't remember one. And he said, that's what you need to remember. That's what you always need to remember when you're in a tough spot. You'll find a way to win.
The other thing is with that, Pritchett has a thing, you know, that every project is messy.
Yeah.
If you and I are going to remodel that door, which I know you're not going to help me if we need any type of
Truth.
hand tools or
Truth.
anything, but if we're going to remodel that door, you know it's going to get messy before it shines and becomes beautiful.
Yep.
So, and I do have a question about your back being against the wall, and I think you answered it.
Yeah.
It's just time to start paddling and get out
Just
of the
taking
hole.
action. Listen, when you're fantasizing, it's called fantasizing and catastrophizing. I have a gift of vivid visualization. Okay. This can be a blessing. Some people may think it can be a curse. It's where you can see something before it's finished. Now, when you think about this, the problem with vivid visualization is when it doesn't get there fast enough or it doesn't happen the way you anticipated.
It's never fast
You
enough.
can go all the way to negative town
Yeah.
and catastrophize, especially if you're a defensive pessimist like I am. So what cures this? Because a lot of people live up here. What did Pritchett say last night? All performance begins in the brain. That's it. 3-pound piece of machinery.
Yeah.
This is your greatest tool. Okay? What gets you out of catastrophizing is taking an action, going from mental creation to physical action. What's the next thing I can do? And there's always something to do.
So when Coach Burt is in a rut, because you're human,
Yeah.
you get in a rut.
Of course.
And I think a lot of people would say, oh, he doesn't. You're human.
Yeah.
When you get in a deep rut, what are you doing?
Change my environment. This is why you see me move so much. It's hard for me to get in a rut because like next week I'm in West Palm Beach. Then I got to go to Savannah, Georgia, and I got a house in Florida, right? And I got a condo in Nashville, and the reason I don't get in ruts is because I move, and it's not like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over. I'm meeting new people. I'm around great people. I'm changing environments. It's like if winter makes you the winter blues in Nashville, hey man, I'm going to my house in Florida.
Yeah.
Or so changing environments. But when you do something as hard as I have for so many years, 35 years, there's days I wake up and go, man, I don't want to do this.
Well, you're traveling a lot.
Yeah, I'm traveling more.
I don't know if you travel more than me, but it's close.
Yeah.
And it takes a special person to do that.
Yeah.
And, I'm looking at it right now going, is this right for me to be moving around this much? But then I'll be in Nashville for 4 days this week.
Yep.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're ready to get back.
It's time to get to work.
Yeah.
Wherever that may be.
Yeah.
So I just don't know, if it works, it works. Are you enjoying what you're doing?
I think I'm enjoying it. I enjoy the speaking. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy meeting new people. But I'm yearning for bigger moves.
What does that look like? Because, based on statistics, you're in the top 1% of business. Anybody that does over $10 million in revenue is in the top 1%.
Yeah.
That puts us in the top 1%.
Yep.
And I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Are you happy with it?
No, not in comparison when I'm with a guy yesterday who's doing 800 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a call. I'm on a board of directors meeting before this, and they're talking about companies doing $1 billion. And it's not really about $1 billion or 800 million. It's about potential. It's about stagnation.
It is potential.
It's about being disgusted with incremental growth.
But I think you might have it's about potential.
Yeah.
I haven't reached my potential.
Yeah.
And you haven't reached your potential.
No.
Who do you have telling you and coaching you and pushing you?
Yeah.
Is that your students?
No, I mean, yes, sometimes. I think in the last year, it's been, I've spent a lot of time with Pritchett and studying under him. I have some good advisors who push me, who challenge me, and I go to certain people for certain reasons. They're very skilled. Now, I've reached a point where a lot of the people you see out there in the world are now friends of mine. And they can say, bro, you're playing at a low level, or you're thinking your frequency's off. Or Tim Grover may call me and say, hey, man, you're not on your A game for some reason. What's going on with you? Right? Like that's the kind of people calling me, going, hey, man, you look good, but what's going on? Or you look off. Or What's going on in your life?
Well, I appreciate them because you've got so much energy and a spark of fire behind your rear end that you spark our fire.
Yeah.
And, frankly, that's why I'm here this week. I haven't been here for, 4 or 5 months, and I'm getting, as you would say, settling to a place of mediocrity, which I'm not. I'm pushing hard. But I'm not pushing hard enough. And we're not meeting what we think we're capable of. I just wonder where the end goal is.
Well, I do think about that. Right now in my life, I'm looking for, the way my brain is wired, I need a championship to win. I need a trophy to pursue. I need an aiming point. I need, hey, we're going to build it and exit. I'm looking for cash flow, right vehicles, big table moves, enjoy what I'm doing, but I am looking for a score. You got to think, because I've been grinding out for a long time, okay? And I've made a lot of good money in my life. I got great deals and houses and planes and whatever else. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for a big score. One big league, 25 million, 30 million, something that goes, now, what will I do if I have that score? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Will I go to the house in Florida and relax? Will I change anything? Obviously my wife doesn't think I'll change anything, no matter where I am.
Well, that's why I asked that question yesterday to Shane Reeves. Because he got a pile of money, and then he dug back in.
And then he put it all into the next thing.
I can assure you, you will do the same thing. And your wife is going to say, honey, hold on. And you're going to...
It's like she told me once, do you know how to be happy? Why can't you be happy about anything? and why can't you enjoy what we have? And it's like, maybe I don't even know how. That's my mother, right? She didn't even know how to sit still. She didn't, right? She's kind of like Martha in the Bible. And Mary's saying, calm down. Jesus is here. And Martha's running around in the house doing things. And it's kind of like with me, it's like, I don't even know really how to relax. I don't, it's not, now, is that good? Is it bad? But I do take time off. A lot of people think I work. And listen, there was a time I worked 7 days a week. There was a time I'm a creative. But by the time I get to Friday, and I've coached a lot of people, I'm ready for a break. I'm ready to be Michael Burt. I'm ready to take the coach hat off. I'm ready to be a dad. I'm ready to play with my kids. I'm ready to just do something, whatever that is, whatever I want to do, with no schedule, nobody telling me I got to be anywhere, nothing I got to do the next day. I do enjoy that.
That was a question that I have for the entrepreneurs: is what do they do to relax, and do they take vacation?
It's different.
But you're a firecracker, but I love it because it helps me. Because there's not a lot of people that have more energy and drive. Well, there are a lot, but they're hard to find than I do. And so it just lights the spark underneath me. So why do you think that your coaching works for anyone from a small landscape business or a mom and pop shop up to a Fortune 500 company?
When I first started coaching businesses, I would be coaching a $2 billion bank. I'd be coaching an insurance agency. I spent 4 years in the prison system rehabilitating maximum security offenders. I'd coach a heating and cooling company. Then I'd be in a room with, white collar people. And what I noticed is all of them had the same problems. All of them.
Did you ever get imposter syndrome doing this?
No, because I knew I was a hell of a coach. Okay, so there may be people who've made more money than me, but there's still a specialization that I have. Okay, and that is engineering people, the activation of prey drive, competitive intelligence. Packaging is one gift that somewhere along the way I picked up.
Man, while I was doing my questions, there is nobody better at packaging and naming a concert or a concept than you. You're just good at it. I don't know where
that's just a knack that, it's like Tim Story said to me one day. He said, man, there's nobody at X's and O's better than Burt.
That's the truth.
And it's like, I think it comes from sports. Everything was drawn up, plays. Then it comes from mental mapping. Then it comes from studying under Covey. Covey was a master at packaging ideas into visuals and books and things. And I think just through osmosis of me being around these great, Dan Sullivan is a master of packaging ideas. And these are people I've been coached by. And so it's like, I love packaging a concept. And then I tell people, you're sitting in an $8 million concept. Okay, but there's been $200 or $300 million generated here in a year. But it all started as just a simple concept, man. I'm going to build a greatness factory. What are we going to do there? Manufacture greatness. Who's going to come there? People who want to get better. Started just on a piece of paper, and now we're sitting in it.
You're just really good at it. And I love seeing it because you don't see it that often.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that you can go, hey, Joe over there is great at packaging concepts. Money solves, money changes hands when problems are solved.
Yeah.
It's like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And so you're putting all these little, not acronyms, but they're, you named your concepts on them. So it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Go back to, how you work with a single mom and pop shop to a Fortune 500, because I interrupted you. But how do you steer that?
There's a process. Okay. So I'm coaching a bank, $2 billion bank. I got 500 people I'm coaching. They say I want to grow 40% in a 1-year cycle. I get in there. I start asking questions because I'm a coach. How do we get customers? Who follows up? How much do we prospect per day? Who engages with the customer after the sale? And then I started finding all these, what Sullivan would call missing structures. Mm-hmm. I hire a company called Two Market Media, and I go, man, I think I have something, but I can't put it all together. And they would just ask me questions. What do you do? And I said, I activate Prey Drive. Step 1. I teach people how to explain their value. Step 2. I teach lead generation. Step 3. I teach follow-up. Step 4. I teach engagement after the sale. Step 5. I teach how to become a person of interest. Step 6. Boom. There's my framework. Now, I could go into any company in the world, and I guarantee you in one of those areas, there's a missing structure.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't care if it's a $1 billion company or it's a mom and pop. Yeah. Right? Who's on the phone generating leads? Who's following up on those leads? Who's engaging with people?
Once you go into the company, you find the leak or the missing problem. Are they filling those voids and solving them? Who's holding them accountable to do that?
Every company needs a pit bull. In my company, it's Jana Creel. And I was just on a board of directors meeting, and they just hired a pit bull. It's like, who's in charge of making sure everybody does what they're supposed to do? Now, you may think that's me, but I've kind of evolved to the visionary, the front facing, the engine, right? Yeah. But it's not really a high value of my time. It's like Saban, I use him a lot, but he's not enforcing everything. He's going to his associate head coach and going, this has got to tighten up. And that dude is the pit bull. So when you think about it, companies need this. And when there's too many visionaries, there's too many people who skew toward positivity versus what's really happening, then it's like we just talk, and there's ideas. And so I think that's really what I provided for a lot of these companies, because here's what a lot of people would do. They go, I don't have the skill set this dude does, developing talent, getting more out of people. Let's hire him. Yeah. So these executives would hire me and say, I need to get more out of these people. I don't even know how to do it. Like, what do I do? And I would bring a system. Boom. I would fill the structures, and we would get increase.
What's the most amount of time that you've spent with a company getting them to turn around their processes like that?
I mean, a lot of times it was multi-year contracts in the beginning. I spent 9 years with one bank, year after year, because I would show increase. They'd say, we're underperforming. I'd go, they'd show increase. Then they put me over here. Then they put me over here. Then they say, go to the mortgage division. Then they say, go to this. And I would go to these, and everything that I went to showed some kind of increase. There's no way possible a person can get coaching and not freaking get better, okay? There's no way.
That's another thing that irritates me and irks me is you meet business owners that are successful, and you say, hey, I'm doing some coaching over here. They don't want coaching. They know it all. And I feel like the people that know it all, they're up against a wall. They're praying or getting lucky. Yeah. But the guys that get the coaching are the ones that start running faster. Yeah. They're the ones that start making the quantum leaps. What do you say to those guys? And how many times have you seen it that they're like, I don't need a coach. I don't need a coach. How many times do you see that?
There's fixed mindsets and there's growth mindsets. The top people are curious. You look at Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and we could go on and on and on about all these top players had somebody in their life, right? And it's like there's a symbiotic relationship between the coach and the player. But so a lot of people get to a level, so easy to do, and they say, well, I'll just read his book. I'll just do this, right? But that's not really coaching. Coaching is engaging in a set of systematic behaviors. There's a coach, there's a player, there's a symbiotic relationship. The coach is pouring into the player is showing up in coaching. Now, the people who really dig in with me, if you stay with me for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you keep coming back to the Greatness Factory, you'll see people who are transforming. They don't even look the same, Tommy.
Yeah. I've seen them.
They don't even look the same.
I've seen it.
You take a player like Jana Creel that works under me, it ain't even the same person.
Yeah.
When she came to me, it wasn't even the same person. She couldn't look up on a Zoom.
Yeah.
Right? I'd say, look up, Jana. I said, I'm going to call on you until you look up. She couldn't look up on a Zoom. Look at her now. Now she's teaching. Now she's writing books.
She did a great job earlier.
And listen, I have no doubt when I put her in front of our customers that she's going to be prepared. She's an expert at what she does.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, I see people coming. It's like, man, you look a little bit different. I look at Stacey Murphy when she came into me versus where she is today. It's like transformation. My buddy, Good Time Tommy Davidson, when he came into me, was what he would tell you by his own words, just kind of a party or a goof off, doing 35 deals a year. He ain't even the same person today.
Yeah.
They're transformed, but they're transformed because they're coachable.
If you're gonna sit around here and ignore your teachings, you are just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, and so it's my job to market that. It's my job to market the transformation. It's my job I got to do a better job of understanding promotion and marketing. And it doesn't matter how incredible the building is or the people are or what we saw last night. I gotta get in the business of marketing and promotion and you got to get in here.
I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
I just think you like a little bit more speed.
Yeah, I do.
And that's what all entrepreneurs want.
Yeah.
And it's hard to we envision it quicker, faster, easier. And what did we learn last night? Yeah. It's always going to be harder, longer, tougher. But so it's just, it's the way it goes for an entrepreneur.
Yep.
I noticed something the other day. I just kind of wanted to know why. You started posting your daily notes on your socials.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that. There's no rhyme or reason. I think when I wrote the book many years ago called Inside the Mind of a Monster, right? When I went to speak at 10X, I asked Cardone, what do you want me to speak on? And he said, man, I'm kind of fascinated by you were a high school basketball coach, and now you're doing this. And he said, I want you to take people inside the way you think. And I go, okay, I need a title for this talk. And I had a coaching program called Monster Producer in those days. And I go, I'm going to call the talk Inside the Mind of a Monster, with a monster being a legendary creature. That's one definition of it. So I did the talk. It was a big hit. I went through my thought processes. How do I think about things? And then I wrote a book on it called Inside the Mind of a Monster. And so one day I was in the gym, in a flow state, working out. I'm getting thoughts. I'm listening to things. And I started making notes. And I go, I'm going to start posting these notes. And I noticed that people started going, man, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. It may not get a lot of likes. Some days it does. Some days I'm pissed off about something, and you can tell. It's right. Like I was dealing with somebody the other day, and I felt like they were, felt very entitled. And I was like, man, I don't owe you anything. Nobody owes us anything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like that mindset pisses me off. Like I don't owe you anything, because people say, well, I did this for you, and because I did this for you, I need this. And I'm like, man, I don't owe you anything. And I wrote about that in my notes that day. I don't want to be one of those people. Yeah. And so it's like what I'm doing is I'm coaching myself. And I go, I'm going to start publishing my notes. Because every now and then a guy like Cardone will have a thought, and you could tell he's putting it in his notes. And then he'll push it out there. And and I go, that's interesting, man. That was a good thought. I needed that. So every day I'm like, all right, here's my thoughts for today. Here's my notes for today. Read them, don't read them. Consume them, don't consume them.
You've got a morning message that goes out every morning, and now you've got your notes.
Yep.
And if anybody can get latched onto your morning message, I think it's just, whether it's a little match or a big fire that day, I think it's beneficial to hear. And sometimes they pop up. I'm like, I'm busy. I don't want to do. Sure. You know what? I'm going to listen.
Yep.
I'm like, dang, coach is on one today.
Yeah. And some days I don't want to do them. It's like last night we had a good night. People were here.
Yeah.
It was late. You know, this morning I got to get up and do that message, man.
You talk about Pray Drive. I think you patented it. You're full of energy. What's one thing you've been sitting on going, man, I need to do this, and you haven't done it, and it's just bothering you, and you need to take a step on it? Something sitting there that you need to do that you haven't done it. And this question is to provoke you to take a step, because you've provoked me to take a lot of steps.
And I think when you get agitated enough with something, you do it. I think choosing a clear aiming point. Right now I have 4 or 5 big things going on. Any of them could hit. None of them have hit completely, right? And it's like, it's really hard for me to freaking choose an aiming point. Like, do I put all my energy into this business, the data centers, which could be big, or raising capital, that could be big, or building greatness factories. And so that confusion sometimes of where do I aim, and where do I focus, and what do I do next? That's a consistent frustration for me.
So, Coach, I've got several restaurants, a construction business, some real estate stuff.
Yep.
I fly airplanes on the side.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get any answers from this side of the table.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest problems that I have in my brain right now is the same thing.
Yeah.
Where do I aim?
Yeah.
Do I go in my businesses right now into the restaurants and focus on them, work on all the systems, get the employees selling and customer service and the greeting at the door and the cooks all trained and moving stuff up? Do I do that this year?
Yeah.
Or do I go to work on these airplane hangars that I know I can build 4 or 5 of them this coming year and make money doing that? And a lot of the college students that I'm around, because we got bars at Texas Tech, and I tell them, I know you don't have it figured out yet, but I'm 25 years older than you, and I don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up, and I don't know if I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. And that seems to be a problem in your mind and a problem in my mind. So will you text me when you figure it out?
Yeah, I think it's a problem for a lot of people. What do I want to be when I grew up?
It's tough.
When I grow up. Well, for years, I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a basketball coach. I wanted to be a head coach. I wanted to win a championship. I wanted to go to college. That was all I thought about.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, you're a business guy.
And then it's like I started going over here, and it's like, oh, I like this. Oh, I enjoy this. I could be good at this.
When did you're a businessman now.
Yeah.
And you get fruit out of coaching.
I do.
And I love that about you, and I don't want you to stop.
Yeah.
I want you to keep working on these businesses and doing your thing. And who's the guy that's best at labeling something?
Yeah.
You're a businessman.
Yeah.
Package that, name it whatever you want.
Yeah, business is sport.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Business is my sport.
Yeah, yeah.
And so label it as that. 2 more questions for you. Number 1, what does the next 5 years look like for you?
I think I'm still in a period of building. I think I finally, after all of these years, really figured out my skill set. I think that skill set could be a $25 to $50 million skill set or more if it's applied to the right problem. I think you will see me build more greatness factories. I think you will see me stay in a consistent state of expansion. Yeah. Now, what it includes, I don't know. I just know I'm going to get up every day, and I know that I'm making bigger moves. I'm on the board of directors of a publicly traded company that I really feel good about. But what they're doing, I think it's going to be big. Yeah. I really do think it's going to be big.
Can't you invest
safe space?
You can invest.
You can invest in it.
Yeah.
Yep, it's an over-the-counter stock. A lot of people give that a bad name, but this is different. There's a real board of directors. There's real money in the bank. There's real team members. They got a real product. So I feel good about that. And that's the first time I've ever applied my skills in that way, from a strategic standpoint. Help them raise capital, build runway, create a product. Like, I got the coffee company, Nashville Grind. It's a new thing for me. I've got the greatness factories. But all of them, it's the same skill applied to different problems.
It is. In the past 3 years is when you've really started evolving into the business as a sport.
Yep.
And I think that came from your curiousness, trying to find out everything, because you'll pick up every rock, you'll look under everything, and that, I believe, is how you get to the top.
Yeah.
Is staying curious.
100%.
And so that's my advice to a lot of people. Stay curious.
Yeah.
Take the meeting.
Stay hungry.
Flip over the rock.
Yeah.
See what's there. I'll take any meeting.
Yeah.
If it doesn't look like it's good, all right, well, thank you. Have a great day.
That's right.
But a lot of them come with fruit.
Yeah.
What advice would Coach Burt, now at a handsome 49, give his 20-year-old self?
I think the advice I would give people today in business is really sit down and think about the vehicle. Find your primary skill. Don't find your why. Find your skill. Find the problem that you love solving.
That's in business.
Yeah.
What would you tell young Coach Burt?
I mean, for the first from 20 to 30, I was more, I would say, asshole versus ambassador.
Yeah.
Very selfish. I was a coach. I only focused on my team. I could really care less about everybody else's team. And I could have built a lot more. I could have been an ambassador more.
Yeah.
I could have. Now I'm more of an advocate for people, and I'm helping people and pushing them. In those days, it was myopic. And I think I would tell a young 20-year-old that's hungry, number one, go to the table. Like there was a kid last night that drove. I don't know how far he drove. He's watching me on social media. He just drove here to look at me and shake my hand and say, man, I'm following you. And I'm like, that's good. Get to the table. Get around it. Touch it. Feel it. Taste it. Get in the mix, right? That's what I would tell the 20-year-old me. But I was a very focused 20-year-old kid, man. I had a singular focus, which was to become a head coach. That was my primary deal, man.
Yeah.
And I was laser-like. So I wouldn't – it's not that I didn't get out and party some and have fun, and we worked hard and we played hard, but the number one thing was that team. That's it. That's all I focused on.
What a privilege to have a coach that is only focused on winning.
Yeah.
Do you think that all the coaches are like that, the head coaches?
I think – I don't know. I see a lot of coaches that are deactivated. They've lost their fire.
Yeah.
They don't want to learn and grow and get better. The times have passed them by. Look at the new coaches. Right? Look at Lane Kiffin, how in demand he was. Like, that's the new era coach. Yeah. They're good on social. They're good at coaching. They're strategists. They're good at building. They're right now. But also you got a guy like Saban, who was great at coaching and process and mindset and right. Like, so, I think a lot of coaches out there are not getting better, man. They're stuck in a little world. It's like there's a big world out there.
We need somebody prospecting for you to get a hold of these head coaches so the university will pay you some big money to go light some fire under their coaches.
It's a hard group to coach.
Yeah.
Okay, I have advised some coaches. I work with Matthew Mitchell, University of Kentucky head coach. I've worked with Kim Roseman, head coach at Tennessee Tech. There's people that I've talked to, but it's a hard world to crack, and it's a hard world to get into.
Yeah.
And then they don't really have any money to give you unless it's at the very upper echelons.
The college sports league is wild though with the coaches. They have no they will send you packing in no time. If you're not winning.
It's results.
I watch them at Texas Tech all the time, and I don't like seeing that, but that's a part of their life, and they know that that's what they signed up for.
That's right.
When they get into the coaching.
It's results, baby.
Yeah. Well, I think as I told you about 3 years ago, that I'll enjoy watching you grow.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about your organization is you practice what you preach.
Yeah.
And to me, there's a lot of value in that.
Yep.
To anybody that's looking for a business coach, come to Nashville. Come see the Greatness Factory.
Yeah.
Come meet Coach Burt. Come meet his staff.
Yeah.
Come to one of the events to see what they're going to get. And I can assure you that you will not regret it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you taking your time.
Yeah.
This Business Under Fire is kind of a result of one of your programs, Become Known.
Yeah. Person of interest.
Person of interest. And I said, well, I don't really want to, like the cameras at first were very, they make you nervous. But I said, I'm going to do 52 of them and see what happened. And part of what happened is I've been at the table or across the table from some very successful people that have wonderful stories, and you're one of them.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you pouring into us and saying, dude, go try it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that
Go
can
do it.
happen?
Go do it. Spin it all.
And it put me at a table across from you
Yep.
where 2 or 3 years ago I would have never thought. And so I love Nashville. It's been great.
Yep.
And I love hearing your work. So keep up the good work. And I can't wait to watch where you go, man.
Thank you, man.
Business,
Same for you.
business is a sport.
Yeah. Play to win, baby.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for watching Business Under Fire. We'd love it if you would share, like, and subscribe. See you next time.